Hi Al. In this assignment, you're going to be working on using the grade calculation sheets to set up your course so that you can record the grades for the semester. In the sheet, you should have 3 tabs, one labeled General Gradebook, one labeled Grades for 1580, and one labeled Other Class. In the General Gradebook, you have the option of including 15 different assignments that will be graded throughout the semester, and the weights of those assignments. After you've correctly inputted that information, you can record your scores as you go along throughout the semester. This gradebook is designed so that it will calculate your current grade and your final grade in the course if the semester actually ended today. So let's kind of look at what this might look like. Let's suppose you have a class where there's one regular exam, one final exam, one set of homework, and one set grade for quizzes. And you wanted to include those 4 things. So I could go in and change these names here and make that a little prettier. Well, since there's only 4 assignments, I'm assuming the rest of the grades are probably all going to be worth 0 because they're not really there. And if you want to delete off these words or even delete off all those things, you can highlight them and delete them. As I go through many of these videos, I may use different keystrokes than you're used to, but any way you want to perform those operations, that'll work just fine. Now let's suppose your teacher assigned exam 1 to be worth 30% of the grade. So I could go over into the weight and record it as 30. And maybe the final is 40% because they really want the tests to count for a lot. The homework's 20% and the quizzes are 10%. You may want to check down here that the total of those weights adds up to 100% of the grades in the course, because that's really going to need to be the case. Alright, what you can see over here on the right in these calculated columns over here is that the percent currently completed is 0%. The final grade of the semester ended today is 0, and the current grade is giving me an error actually, and that's okay. The formula's working alright at this point. Well, that's because we haven't recorded any scores. So let's suppose that when you took exam 1, you got a 75. You'll notice many things got filled in here. One of them being the points toward the final grade. And the calculation for that is shown up here in the formula bar right around here. But we see that amount is 22.5. And that at this point is the same as the final grade if the semester ended today. What that means is if you did nothing but take exam 1 throughout the entire semester, and you got a 75 on exam 1, and exam 1 is worth 30% of your overall grade, then your final grade in the class is 22.5. And another way of looking at that, though, is that if the only grade you have recorded so far in this class is exam 1, and you intend to keep going on in the class, and you think you'll do about the same on all of your classes, you might tell people your current grade is 75, because that's the only grade you have so far. Well, that would seem to make sense. So this gradebook will actually let you see what your current grade is as you go throughout the semester, as well as seeing how much you already have toward the overall grade. So let's put in a homework grade. Let's say you're doing pretty well in the homework and you have a 95 average. You'll note that a 95 on the homework will count as 19 points toward the final grade. To get that, I just took the score out of 100 times the percent it weights overall. That shows me that I have 41.5% of the overall points done so far. That's the 19 plus 22.5. And that half the course is done so far, which shows my current grade should be an 83. All right. Filling in the quizzes, let's say I have an 80 on the quizzes so far. That would give me a current grade of an 82.5, but only 49.5 points so far because only 60% of the course is completed. For the final grade, let's suppose I got a 75 on that exam as well. Let's make it a 78. A 78 on that exam as well. And we're going to see that once 100% of the course is complete, the current grade and final grade of the semester ended today should be the same. What I'd like you to do for the rest of the assignment is copy and paste the original General Gradebook over into the grades for 1580 and then fill in the weights. It may end up looking something kind of like this. There's a couple extra lines to this. And then copy and paste it in for another class. I'm going to pause the video right here and I'll be right back, and I'm going to get back to the original General Gradebook and show you how to copy and paste it. Alright, this is what our initial General Gradebook looked like, and there's a few different ways to select the entire page. We can click right here. Maybe I have to do that twice in that up little corner there. and I can copy that. There's several different ways to copy in Excel. You can hit Control-C, and you should notice that outline kind of is blinking there. And then I could go over to grades for 1580, put it in cell A1, hit Control-V, and then I could go through and change that and do the same thing over here. Instead of putting it in cell A1, I could click this corner cell and go to right-click and select Paste, and that'll work. There's several different ways to copy and paste. If you need help with that, feel free to ask me or ask someone else in the class. But that way I've got these original things set up and I can go through and edit them. And again, in the other class, I would like you to enter the grades and weights for something you're doing in one of your other classes. And as a final note, let me show you how to save the file the way that we're supposed to. Once you click the File tab there, hit Save As. I'm just going to save this to the desktop here. And I'm going to select this as Excel 0 grade calculations with my name, Mark Grether, and my class, 1580, section, I'm just going to make up something, 345, but you would want to put your section number there at the end of that class. But your grade should, your final assignment should include the name of the assignment, your name, and your class and section number as well. And you would click Save on that, and then upload it, or upload it to the Blackboard site. Hope that helps.